this massive lead here as Cleveland turns it over again. Jalen Tyson is on the floor. He and Sam Merrill getting minutes to start this fourth quarter. Tristan Thompson out there as well. Bring Jared back in the conversation here, because the one thing you hear from both camps, this is just game 40 for
on building on sustainability, but it also means a lot of losing over a 3-year stretch, guys. Like 60 games in 3 years. They're likely going to win 60 games this year alone. As you might expect, Darius Garland said that period was embarrassing. He called it embarrassing. He had won 4 state titles in high school and never had lost that much. But vets like Tristan Thompson, who's now on the floor, and guys like Kevin Love preached to Garland and the young guys that it will eventually come full circle. Here in OKC, Mark Decknold told us that in order to keep guys' confidence high, they couldn't just tell the players that the future was bright. They needed to feel it, Grant. And there's something about this culture here in OKC that's more than just...
Obviously, last year, they were #1 in the Western Conference during the regular season. But the few years before that, you could feel the culture developing as this young team was playing the right way, competing. They were struggling, trying to figure things out. But they got their young guys to buy in and believe. And they have reaped the rewards here these last 2 seasons.
Kobe Albin and Sam Presti deserve a lot of credit. Presti has long been one of the most respected heads of basketball operations. I knew Sam way back in his San Antonio days. Comes from a great pedigree there with the Spurs, and was a very manager when he arrived here. But he's been through the ups and the downs and the rebuilding, and he's a great basketball mind. Done an incredible job, and these rosters, they just work, and it looks like they're built for the long haul now. It looks like they're going to be
a Anthony. They pivoted off of that team to rebuild. They get to the playoffs with Chris Paul and Schroeder and of course SGA on the team. And then for 2 years they were kind of in the abyss, and then last year they're the #1 seed. So one of the quickest rebuilds. Loads of draft picks in the future, but it's a good problem to have for this organization with this young team.
Let me ask you about we saw Chet Holmgren in street clothes over there with Hartenstein. And obviously, Chet Holmgren is one of the stars in this league as well, one of the young stars coming back from this hip injury. And you do wonder, and you mentioned they're learning how to play with Hartenstein, Oklahoma City, and yet they're having all of this success. I'm very curious to see what that dynamic's going to be like.
Well, it just gives them another option. They can go big as well, and the versatility that these 2 bigs have, playing together possibly, is Tristan Thompson is just moving.
Chet, prior to his injury, about what it would be like eventually to play next to Hartenstein. As you mentioned, BA and G. Hill, he's never played in a real NBA game with him before. Chet told me that one major difference this year is that the initial plan was to try and play both of them together at times. There will be a learning curve after playing 96 games at center last season. So it's going to take some time.
Because he's an unusual 5. What do you mean by that? What's different about him? And what are they trying?
Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams as bigs. They set screens, and they typically pop. Rolling to the rim creates offensive opportunities. He's a great passer. So we talked to Mark Decknold. He talked about, look, we're still learning how to play with Hartenstein. I'm thinking, wow, they're 22-2 with him. Can't imagine what a
couple of threes early in this game. And Alex Dukas on the floor for Oak. Second of a back-to-back. Road game tomorrow night. And, they will bounce to Minnesota for a game Saturday night.
And when you lose like this in the NBA, you can't wait to play again. Get that bad taste out of your mouth. And Cleveland just fuse, not efficient, turning the ball over, everything the Thunder way.
Great opportunity for these guys to get some run on an NBA floor every year.
Maybe the only long night this season for him, the ball moving around the perimeter. They've always been in the passing. I mean, I didn't realize he had multiple playmakers on this Cavalier team. Has suited them well, just not tonight.
Three-point player at Utah State, now in his 5th year in the NBA. Been pretty quiet since I returned from an ankle injury. Flagler comes up short. Another chance here. Flagler will fire. Comes up short again. And another chance.
$3 for $1.
Dukas punts down that rebound. Saw Flagler in his collegiate days, as you did, at Baylor. Another undrafted player that is on a two-way. Tristan Thompson, how about Tristan Thompson still at it in his 14th year and enjoying his. Gives him some great leadership on that bench.
He's a culture builder for this team, and unexpectedly maybe getting some minutes here in this fourth quarter, but I'm blown away. I thought we'd have a close affair here tonight, particularly with
injuries, and they've lost rotation players. They've continued to win.
They're just persistent. They just come at you no matter who's on the floor.
I'll tell you, Flagler, he is not afraid right now. Those three-pointers are coming up short.
Yeah.
But he's getting them up. He's 0 for 7 right now.
Hey, you miss every shot you don't take.
Of the NBA and making a run in history here. They blow out teams regularly. And their average point differential almost 13 on the plus.
I mean, those are all legendary championship teams. And they have a chance if they can stay on this pace. I mean, you're talking about surpassing the 71-72 Lakers. Dominant this time. You know, you're down maybe 4 or 5 points, and they come out in the third, and next thing you know, it's a 15-point game.
Right.
Like, what happened?
Early, he helped them grab the lead at one point early in this game at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. The Cavs led 12-10, and then Carlson buried a couple of threes and has not looked back. He's made 3 threes tonight, got 11 points. As Tristan Thompson,
as a rookie, brings the physicality, rim protection, and 3 three-pointers, like you said. He fits right in here in Oklahoma City. I think this arena will erupt.
They're rooting for Flagler.
They're rooting for him to knock down a 3.
Bucket. 2.5 to go here. And it has been all Oklahoma City. And this game has been worse than that score would indicate, and that score is pretty bad. Thunder just absolutely rolling in this game tonight. A drive and a foul.
My condolences to
He transcended, sports commentary. He never even thought of himself as a broadcaster, even though he was for 54 years with the Brewers. He always considered himself a player. He had a locker down in the clubhouse all those years.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of them. He was a player and always felt that way. And a great baseball announcer, Hall of Famer. And he's going to be missed. And I know Ernie Johnson knew him well. Charles Barkley knew him well. He used to say about Charles's golf swing, he goes, you don't need a golf pro, Charles. You need an exorcism. You know a priest?
I may use that when I play with Chuck again.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him. We lost a legend today in Bob Uecker. I love the man. Coming to the final stages here of a blowout Thunder win. Final matchup of the year in the regular season. Could this be a finals on Cleveland's way? There will be better days. There have been many great days for the Cavs leading up to this, and they'll get right back at it Saturday in Minnesota. First 6 minutes were going okay for the Cavs, and then they just a hurricane from the Thunder. Offensively, defensively, Gilgeous-Alexander, special MLK Day doubleheader. Wolves and Grizzlies with the Celtics and the Warriors. Nightcap, and those are afternoon games on Monday. And don't forget, we got a good one coming up next. The Hot Rockets, who have won 5 in a row in Sacramento, taking on the hot Sacramento Kings. Just had a long losing streak snapped in Milwaukee. And Stan Van Gundy awaiting the call there. It'll be rocking in Sacramento. They've been loud here tonight, and they have seen absolute dominance from their Thunder squad. And Oklahoma City will improve to 34-6. 18-2 at home. His emerging career front runner for MVP.